So moving right along.
Coming out as a desire. Who wants to work with this? Amanda, Daniel?
I can go.
Thank you, man. Thanks, man.
Is somebody else waiting to go? No.
Nope.
Then Anna, you'll do the exercise afterwards. Amanda, you go for it.
Okay. Coming out as a desire. Now the earth was unformed and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the speech of God hovered over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." Genesis. Indeed, let there be light and sound on that which speaks my true desires. Once upon a time, I was silent in the void of the quantum darkness, not asking for anything. From a purely physical viewpoint, I couldn't move in the void. I could neither fall nor rise. Where would I go? For me to rotate, I needed a reference point, a twin particle, something with whom to fall in love and fail at love. This is to say that to feel something, anything, I had to summon a significant other, a partner in contrast, a devil I would resist. This need for a rescue fantasy is how I lowered my vibration to match the material world. It is also how I forget I am spiritual and powerful being measure. The game of evolution calls the shots. Once I was 0 to 1 as pure choiceless awareness, that is, being and not being simultaneously, and until the desire to become somebody compelled me to come out and incarnate in 3D. And now I have something to lose and something to prove.
Let's pause there, Amanda, if you're willing.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you hearing through this desire narrative?
It's just really spot on in my life right now, actually, because of this idea that you need to separate yourself in order to be in love with somebody else is a big theme for me in my life. So, like, that idea of loving something outside of yourself almost feels like a betrayal to the original, like, limitlessness from which we came from.
Yeah, it's potent. It's a potent idea.
Yeah.
Very potent.
There is a tiny typo, like the sixth line is powerful beyond measure.
That's a fun, like, kind of Freudian slip, a powerful being beyond measure.
Yes, exactly. You nailed it.
Yeah. Nice. And then the other thing that stuck out to me, it's like, who is the I that is asking kind of question, because it's the I that was there before the original separation, which is like all of everything. But then as soon as there's that split into the next step in the Genesis, it suddenly is the I changes. It's a different I to have space, a reference point.
Yeah, lovely. And yet there is this existential desire that is part of the makeup of the fabric of the whole thing. And the subtle hint to all of this is, how am I attuning to desire? It's going to happen one way or the other.
Yeah.
You want to take us to the last paragraph, Amanda?
Yeah. The only way to untangle myself from dissatisfaction is not to be identified to my desires. So it's like the desire is going to happen no matter what. You just don't have to take them as who you are. Okay. It is to die to who I think I am and to pass through the eye of the needle, stripped from the illusion of being someone trapped in somebody who owns something somewhere in time. It is to let go of any intention, including the intention to be free from the house of bondage, and to focus solely on loving love with all my heart, all my soul, and all my might. Then and only then will I return to paradise as a song whose notes I will be able to sing, since I will now hear the voice that I am here to share.
So what touched you, Amanda?
That you're not gonna not have desires, and it's okay to have them as long as you're not chasing them or getting too overly identified to them. And only when you let go of them can you actually hear your soul's desires versus your ego desires.
Yeah, that's the
So my
doozy right
question
there.
is, yeah, my question is, how do you let go of, how do you do it? I guess that's what this class is for. How, because you feel, it feels so real. Like the desires feel so real, obviously. So it's easy to attach to them.
Well, what we're setting up is the hypothesis that reality always gives us what we want. And as we come to understand the discrepancy, in other words, by agreeing to do shadow work, I agree to inquire on the discrepancy. And as I inquire on the discrepancy, I clear away the fog. And I can hear core desires very, very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And when they come up, I follow. I don't ask twice. I do it. That's sort of what I'm hearing. Maha?
The part about evolution, what's written in gold here, calls the shots. In other words, there is this neediness in many of us, the need for certain desires to be fulfilled and the separation from that which we desire. And as you pointed out, the reference point that is out there. So if I could only be slim, if I could only be wealthy, if I could only meet my mate, and all of that is an expression of neediness. And the purpose of neediness is to compel us, that word here, compelled. It's like an addiction. It's like we have no choice upon the matter because we are moved by a desire to become somebody. And that somebody is in 3D. Because in the real world, you're whole, perfect, complete, connected, you have it all. The slimness, the wealth, the mate, it's all yours. It's only in 3D that there is a sense of being compelled. Do you follow this, Amanda?
Yeah, because if you're compelled towards something, it implies that you don't already have it. So there's like a
Yes.
lack.
Yes. In which case, you're still part of the game of evolution. You're still dreaming of karma. And you still think that it's not okay to have what you want or to totally rejoice in the being that you are, to be ecstatically free. So that's where we go back to, okay, shadow work. What when we play in the dark, because the light is, you have it all. We all have it all. And if that's the case, what's to be desired?
Things that feel external to you.
Yes. And we come back to what Emily was looking at, the real and the unreal. We're fascinated by the world in 3D, which happens to be real and is unreal. So to to make the difference is exactly what Michael was saying. Just listen to your guidance, do it. So when there's, I know what to do, I don't want to do it, I truly encourage each of you to make a list of everything you know that you ought to do and don't want to do. And baby steps, just start fulfilling one of those things and see how you expand into nothingness as a result. Okay.
And Maha, to aid that, the exercise on the next page may be a good transition. That's exactly what it hints towards.
Beauty.